Hello, this is Chris Petcola here. Long time no see. Today I'm going to be doing something called the accent tag, which I got from watching a YouTuber named The Anime Man. He's pretty cool. Highly recommend him, especially if you're interested in anything Japanese. Call me weeaboo or not, I don't give a fuck. Okay. So, accent tag. What you do for the accent tag is you say a list of words and then a list of questions, and you answer those questions. The words are so that people can see how you pronounce that in your accent, or in the accent that you have. Now, I watch a lot of television shows from different places, especially Britain, and I also watch plenty of anime, both dubbed and subbed. I have no preference, really. And so I feel like my general accent is much more swayed than it would be for someone who is native to Washington State, which is in America. And if you didn't know, fun fact, people who were born in Washington State, they say that if there weren't other accents like British or Japanese or Australian or whatever else, if there weren't those types of accents, people in Washington would most likely have, they would most definitely have the most accurate accent, and by most accurate I mean they would have the least amount of accent, because they would be pronouncing things as close to the definitions as possible, or not really as possible as the definitions can be. So people in Washington basically have no accent, although I do, because the British programmings, and that was awful, and I apologize greatly to any British people. Okay, let's actually start this now that I've wasted like 10 minutes of your time. Okay, here are the words: ant, roof, route, wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon. It feels weird to say salmon. I don't know, I'm a vegetarian, I'm not used to saying those types of words. Caramel. I say caramel and caramel kind of interchangeably depending on the situation. Like if it's a little square of it, I'll call it caramel. If it's like coated in it, I'll say caramel covered. Don't know why. Fire, water, sure, data, ruin, crayon, New Orleans. I don't know why that has some weird thing. I guess other people pronounce it different ways. Pecan. Same thing with caramel, pecan, pecan. Depends on the situation. Both, again, probably. Spitting image. Alabama. Lawyer. Coupon. Mayonnaise. Syrup. Pajamas. Caught. Naturally. Aluminum. Envelope. And I know the aluminum, that people that also pronounce it aluminium, I have problems saying it that way, so I don't say it that way, even though it sounds much more correct, if I'm being perfectly honest. Now time for the questions. There seems to be 10 of them. What is it called when you throw toilet paper on a house? Actually never done that before, but I call it TPing. What is the bug that when you touch it curls up into a ball? I call them potato bugs, because when I was little, my first experience with them was like on potatoes. Like they used to be on top of our potatoes for some reason, and that seems to be like the only place that I could find them originally, and so I always called them potato bugs. Yes, potato bugs. They also curl up into little gray potatoes. It's adorable. What is the bubbly carbonated drink called? Personally, I don't like that bubbly carbonated drink. I usually call it soda, just because that's kind of an all-around term. Everyone gets it. If I'm like buying it in a place, I'll call it a soft drink. because they always displayed a soft drink and whatnot. And then, if I'm over, like, visiting grandparents or something, I will say, I'll say Coke, because that's what they call it over there, and if I say it any other way, they wouldn't give me Coke, even though I don't like carbonated drinks, personally. What do you call gym shoes? Sneakers? Is there any other word for them? I don't know. What do you say to address a group of people? I say guys. I say guys or peoples. Or freegets. It's a nicer way of saying faggots without offending the gay community, because for some reason they take that as an insult. I don't see. Is that, like, I know it's offensive, but when you're not saying it in an offensive tone, and if you're not offending people, I don't know. What do you call the kind of spider or spider-like creature that has an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? I call that fucking horror. I have arachnophobia. No, seriously. I call them daddy long legs. Yeah. What do you call your grandparents? On my father's side, I have no grandparents. I think that I'd probably call them grandfather, grandmother. And then on my mother's side, I call my grandmother Nanny, and I call my grandfather Pop. And in prior generations, like, my mom would call her grandmother Nan and her grandfather Pop. So I feel like I should probably start saying Nan now that I'm older, but I still say Nanny. Oh well. What do you call the wheeled contraption which you carry groceries at the supermarket? I almost said grocers, which would have been incorrect. Personally, I call them shopping carts, because I am a white American lady. Okay. What do you call when it rain? What? Oh. Sorry, I was mixing up words. What do you call it when rain falls while the sun is shining? I actually don't have a name for that. I live in Washington, and I live on the side of Washington where it rains constantly and it's always over cloud except for like 2 months out of the year. So I legit don't have a word for it. Raining? Can I still call it raining? I don't know. I give up. I'm broken. I broke. I'm done. Nope. Okay. What do you call that thing that you change the TV channel with? I call it a remote. Or I just call it a controller. Although, then that's kind of confusing. Because, like, I'll call it a controller if I'm, like, not really awake, but I'll call it remote if I am awake. Yeah. Well, now I assume I have to actually tag people. I'll post all the words and questions down below. But and I'll also post a link to the Anime Man's channel. Or actually, no, just post a link to the video that he sent, because, yeah. So, I tag my good old friend Sydney Song, if she's still going by that name. I don't know. She's changed her name a couple times. I remember when it was Operetta 17 or whatever else. So, yeah. So, even though she lives in like the same exact state as me, she might have something slightly different. Don't know, it'd be interesting to see, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next video. Yeah, I still got that old, it's actually rather old outro. See ya.